I'm annoyed at myself for losing it, but you guys got some pretty tough pushback, so you earned it.
Well done, Team Brigitte. I'm hoping they're tears of joy.
Yeah, stuff like this never happens to people like me,
Oh,
so...
Brigitte. Thanks for being with us. Look forward to seeing you next time on The Taste Australia.
Tonight, rival gangs at war. The major bikie blitz in our suburbs as police pounce after a brutal showdown.
The Dockers in a race to solve a health mystery before the AFL resumes.
Inside Fremantle's Boys Toys truck heading to the Gold Coast to keep players busy in lockdown.
How you can be paid for renovating your home, the government's new cash splash, but who is eligible?
Police officers charged over the death of George Floyd, but the riots are just getting bigger.
And police name a suspect in the biggest breakthrough in the hunt for Maddie McCann.
Live from our Perth headquarters, this is 7 News with Ardon and Susannah Carr.
Good evening and welcome to 7 News. We begin with a brutal bikie showdown in Perth's east involving an axe. Blood was shed when a notorious outlaw motorcycle club clashed with a rival gang at a home in Stratton. Neighbours were caught up in the violence. Tonight, the accused criminals are behind bars after a police blitz.
Heavily armed, ready for a bikie standoff. Police approach a home in Lockridge, another in Hilbert, hunting members of the Lone Wolf outlaw motorcycle gang, wanted over a wave of violent crime across our suburbs, including an attack on a rival street gang at a home in Stratton. The bikies also allegedly forced their way into a neighbouring property armed with an axe. A woman was threatened, 2 men bashed. Following the violence, police went on a bikie blitz, raiding the Lone Wolf headquarters, seizing weapons, drugs and kicking down doors at 10 homes across Perth, from Cloverdale, Midland to Yanchep. Their bikie targets, all dangerous, all unpredictable. The Lone Wolf Clubhouse is here in Canning Vale. From the outside, it looks just like a warehouse, but police say what happens inside is shocking and sinister. The club has had a stronghold here in WA for years, but police say they now have the upper hand. 5 men were arrested in the criminal crackdown. A 30-year-old from Hilbert, a 25-year-old man from Belia, a 40-year-old from Lockridge, a 27-year-old man from Currambine and a 30-year-old man from Warnbro. That's almost half the bikie gang wiped out. Tonight, senior and fully patched members are behind bars.
First and foremost is that they're prepared to do acts of violence for their own self-interest.
But the danger isn't over yet. Right now, a manhunt is still underway. Gang crime detectives want to speak to this man, 28-year-old Craig Todd Michael. The public are being warned not to approach him. Police say he is dangerous and unpredictable. It's believed the man in this CCTV might be able to help police with their investigation into that violent home invasion in Stratton. If you do see Craig Todd Michael, though, call police on 131 444. Sue.
Thank you. Dockers player Cam McCarthy hopes specialist advice from a neurologist and a cardiologist can clear him to travel to the Gold Coast's AFL hub after he collapsed at training. Why remains a mystery.
Cam McCarthy still smiling after 24 hours of uncertainty. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going well, yeah. Obviously yesterday was a bit of a scare, but on the mend now. I got a few more tests today, but yeah, really like to thank everyone for the messages. It's been awesome and I'll try to get back to everyone. But yeah, thank you.
But no closer to finding out what caused him to suddenly collapse.
Do we know what was wrong with you yet?
Nah, not too sure. A few more tests to start, but see how we go, but should be all gravy, yeah.
The scare happened mid-training during a non-contact drill in front of his coach and teammates. He was cleared to leave hospital last night, but today went back for more, hoping a $20,000 heart scan could solve the mystery. With no answers, his fate will now be determined by a neurologist. The Fremantle Dockers will fly to the Gold Coast next Tuesday to join the AFL hub. Despite the setback, Cam McCarthy hopes to join his teammates, but that decision remains up in the air.
So a few more tests today, no sign of what's caused it?
Yeah, no sign yet, but we'll see how we go.
Hoping to still potentially go play in
Yeah, definitely, 100%. So, hopefully it's on the cards, but we'll see how we go after today and we'll let everyone know once we find out a bit more.
There are 5 days until departure. Anna Hay, 7 News.
And today the club spent the day packing for the Gold Coast trip. Ryan Daniels, what's in their excess luggage?
Well, Sue, the Fremantle Dockers players and staff fly out on Tuesday for the Gold Coast, where they'll spend at least the next 5 weeks. Now, what they'll do on their downtime, we now at least know a little bit of detail. They'll have surfboards, bikes, tennis rackets, golf clubs, and a surprisingly high number of guitars and even a keyboard were all packed in and ready for the trip to the Gold Coast. Now, the golf clubs and the surfboards might not be of any use at all. At this stage, the AFL rule states that players in the hub are not allowed to go to the beach or play golf, despite Royal Pines Resort, where they're staying, having its own golf course. Both the Eagles and Dockers are hopeful this will change. Now, the truck leaves tonight. By the time the players get there on Tuesday, it'll feel just a little bit more like home. Rick?
Thanks, Rhino. There are updated charges tonight against the 4 Minneapolis police officers involved in the deadly arrest of George Floyd. Each is now facing 40 years in prison as the victim's son paid tribute to his life and friends declared the world is watching.
On the Minneapolis corner where George Floyd was killed. We got all 4! Celebrations. We got all 4! And hope for real change.
We shall overcome. I think that it will be a wake-up call for the whole nation.
We're here today because George Floyd is not here.
Minnesota's Attorney General now prosecuting all 4 arresting officers. Derek Chauvin had been facing a maximum 25 years in jail. His charges now upgraded from 3rd-degree murder to 2nd-degree murder, a conviction that carries 40 years in prison. The 3 other officers, Thomas Lane, J. Alexander King and Tu Tao, all charged with aiding and abetting that murder. Equally responsible, they too are facing 40 years in jail.
This is a step today that the public wants to see.
But it came with a warning.
Winning a conviction will be hard. We're confident in what we're doing.
New details too from Mr. Floyd's post-mortem, revealing he tested positive to COVID-19 on April 3, more than 7 weeks before his killing. He was asymptomatic but positive from that infection. Today, his 27-year-old son, Quincy, taking a knee, praying, his heart broken.
No man or woman should be without their fathers.
The sight of George Floyd's death has become a symbol of hope and healing, not just for this community, but for the Floyd family itself.
All the world is watching.
Watching as more video emerges of police assaults, this time in Maryland.
Oh, he's kicking him. Oh!
Those officers suspended. And from America's first black president,
there is a change in mindset that's taking place.
Barack Obama weighing in for the first time.
You should be able to learn and make mistakes and live a life of joy without having to worry about what's going to happen when you walk to the store or go for a jog or looking at some birds in a park.
Here in Minneapolis, people know that could be a long road.
I won't be satisfied until I can wake up and have kids and have them not fear their lives just for being black, for being darker than other people. It's not enough. I can say it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough until everything changes.
Ashley Mullaney, 7 News.
Bigger crowds marched across American cities into the night, determined to make those charges the first step towards change. Donald Trump says the National Guard and his military threat have the country under control, but he's being accused by current and former defence chiefs of making a mockery of America's Constitution.
In astounding numbers, New York police enforce curfew. Arrests. Just stop! Police left injured. One is shot. In the capital, a military barricade.
This is the state of the streets outside the White House in the world's greatest democracy. Heavily armed military on one side, angry protesters on the other.
If you didn't have that uniform on, they'll arrest you, just like me.
Pushing the crowd blocks back from the White House and the Capitol. Lockdown extended to 11 p.m.
We're now 5 minutes past curfew, but the military hasn't moved in. The protesters are standing firm.
A peaceful standoff, but they aren't leaving.
We need healing, but we also need strength and we need toughness and we need law and order.
President Trump stands by his military threat.
We have it totally under control. We brought in incredible people. They took care of the situation very easily.
In interviews today, denying he was ever sheltered in a bunker.
Well, it was a false report. I wasn't down. I went down during the day, and I was there for a tiny, little short period of time, and it was much more for an inspection. There was no problem during the day.
Claiming his path to church for a photo wasn't cleared by force.
There were no, what would you call them, the rubber bullets or whatever. There was none of that used. They just moved him back. I think everything was handled very well. I will tell you, religious leaders loved it.
His former Defence Secretary, James Mattis, furious over a bizarre photo op and that troops have been ordered to violate constitutional rights. He says Donald Trump is the first president in my lifetime who does not try to unite the American people, does not even pretend to try. Instead, he tries to divide us. We are witnessing the consequences of 3 years without mature leadership. Quoting the Nazi slogan, divide and conquer, against America's answer, in union there is strength. His current Defence Secretary broke ranks too.
The option to use active duty forces in a law enforcement role should only be used as a matter of last resort and only in the most urgent and dire of situations. We are not in one of those situations now.
There are pockets of agitators, protesters being attacked. This one likely charged. In Los Angeles, bigger crowds all day, but into a 9th-long night, it's largely peaceful, just unlikely to end until change begins.
We are going to rebuild and rebuild and rebuild until it is rebuilt. Because when the foundation is broken, so are we.
In Washington, D.C., Amelia Brace, 7 News.
Action has been taken against the police officers who assaulted Amelia and cameraman Tim Myers while they were reporting live on protests in Washington. The acting chief says 2 US Park police officers have been assigned to administrative duties while an investigation takes place.
WA homeowners planning a major renovation will be in line for a $25,000 handout from the federal government. There's money too for those building new homes. The grants are aimed at boosting the economy, but critics claim they've missed the mark.
The initial response to Scott Morrison's home builder announcement: get off the grass.
Hey guys, I've just reseeded that.
Sure, let's just move back from there.
Onto the footpath.
That's all good, thanks.
And on with the sales job.
Rebuilding communities, rebuilding our economy.
$25,000 grants for renovations and new builds.
Initially I was very excited, so was my wife.
The young family plans to knock this down and rebuild in Mount Hawthorn, but they won't get the free cash because they just fail the means test.
For the sake of $10,000, we're going to miss out on $25,000 from the federal government.
To qualify, a couple's income must be capped at $200,000, a single person at $125,000. They have to either build a new home less than $750,000 or start a renovation that's valued between $150,000 and $750,000.
I was just ticking boxes and I was like, yes, this is one, this is two.
It comes at the perfect time for Gabby Guerra, who's just about to start a $180,000 renovation.
It's really good to know that we have a bit of help.
A boost for the industry. Building is down 40% from 5 years ago.
I think it's a fantastic grant for builders like myself, especially after the last 3 months.
It might be enough to keep the Perth building industry going.
But some experts say it will just push more families to the urban fringes.
It's very much an East Coast centric policy where I think it's dealing with issues in the East Coast and not specifically issues we really could be optimising in Western Australia.
Today the Premier announced WA will introduce its own building stimulus measures in the coming days, but wouldn't confirm details, leaving families and tradies to cross their fingers. Cyan Doherty, 7 News.
More than 40 children and teachers have been injured in a primary school in southern China after a security guard went on a stabbing frenzy. It happened as students were arriving for class. Many of the children attacked are understood to be preschoolers. None of the injuries is believed to be life-threatening. The 50-year-old guard was arrested at the scene. There's a solid breakthrough in the Madeleine McCann mystery. Police have named a paedophile as a prime suspect. Investigators say it's likely she was murdered 13 years ago by the predator who's now in jail in Germany.
The face of 3-year-old Madeleine McCann, known the world over, but frozen in time. Now, on a German TV crime show, revelations of a tragic breakthrough. The evidence we've obtained so far leads us to believe she is dead, this senior detective says. And they have a new prime suspect, a man who in 2007 was living near the Portuguese holiday apartment from where Maddie vanished. He received a phone call just an hour before she disappeared, was living in this camper van and had this Jaguar registered to him but re-registered to someone else the day after Maddie disappeared. The suspect is already in a German jail on unrelated charges, but has a long history of break-ins in the same Portuguese resort town and sex crimes against young girls. Police in Britain hope any hesitant witnesses will now feel safe coming forward.
So anybody that has information, did he speak to you in confidence and tell you what happened that night?
At one stage, suspects, parents Kate and Jerry McCann, said in a statement, "We will never give up hope of finding Madeleine alive. But whatever the outcome may be, we need to know as we need to find peace." Despite the $20 million price tag, British police have refused to give up their investigation into Maddie McCann's disappearance, described as the most reported missing persons case in history. More than 13 years on, Madeleine would have celebrated her 17th birthday last month. In London, Hugh Whitfield, 7 News.
The retrial of Scott Ostick, the man accused of murdering Stacey Thorne in Boddington more than a decade ago, has been set down. It's expected the second murder trial will run for 6 weeks, starting in late October. Ostick remains in custody at Hakea Prison and will be applying for bail next week. Details on why his conviction was quashed are suppressed.
That sinking feeling you might have felt seeing a large blue and white vehicle with flashing lights up ahead is returning to a street or highway near you soon. After suspending large-scale random breath testing in mid-March because of coronavirus, booze buses will be back looking for drunk and drugged drivers from Saturday. It coincides with the weekend reopening of pubs, hotels and other licensed premises.
Now to some news which has everyone here at 7 Perth feeling especially proud tonight. One of our own, Dennis Cometti, has been inducted into the Australian Football Hall of Fame. Considered the voice of the AFL, Dennis now rightfully takes his place alongside the biggest names in the game's history.
Well, congratulations.
From radio DJ and waffle player and coach to commentary legend. From 1987 until the end of 2016, Dennis Cometti's voice accompanied more than 1,000 VFL AFL TV broadcasts.
It came up behind him like a librarian. He never heard him.
If you heard that voice, saw that face, you knew you were watching the footy. The game Dennis Cometti fell in love with.
When I was growing up, I was inspired by commentators on the radio and the players who played the game through the late 50s up to 1970. And I think in many ways this is for them.
For 30 years, he flew backwards and forwards across the country, calling the biggest games and forming a broadcast partnership for the ages.
Look, he popularised the game in some ways because he changed the way commentators went about their work. He created a cult following on a Friday night.
Cometti's commentary was insightful, accurate and wonderfully entertaining.
Good pick up, Graham. In trouble, the old stripper Graham. And what about that bloody Franklin? They say it's easy to run downhill. Tell that to McIntosh. And he goes and he kicks a goal.
Dennis Cometti, broadcast legend, and now a member of the Australian Football Hall of Fame.
Quiet moment in the car, I thought about it. Just pulled to one side for a moment and thought, wow, that's pretty good. Who would have thought this would happen?
Wilson, like a cork in the ocean over his head. Oh, my word.
Basil Zampoulis, 7 News.
Good on you, Dan. So well deserved. Samantha Jolly joins us now. We could break some weather records, Sam.
Good evening, Sue and Rick. That is right. We got to 25.5 degrees in Perth today. Now, that is the first time we've had 2 June days in a row above 25 since 1984. And if we hit our expected top of 25 tomorrow, it will be the first time we've ever had 3 days in a row above 25 in June. And we can thank this strong high in our south for the unusual weather, keeping those cold fronts at bay. It was even warmer in some of our other suburbs today. 26 for Floyd and Morley this afternoon. A cooler 23 in Kalamunda. 25 the top for Cottesloe and for Fremantle, and 23 in Rockingham. Winds were calm this morning from the north for most of the day. At the moment they're light and south-southeast. How long will our warm and sunny run continue? I'll have your weekend forecast after sport.
Thanks, Sam. And ahead in 7 News, the mystery that cut Karen Upp's internet.
And the truth about Donald Trump's anti-COVID-19 drug.
Plus, see the mudslide disaster taking homes out to sea.
Violence across Europe as America's rage against racism goes global.
Coming up in sport at 6:45, the accolades keep coming for footy's best of the best.
To the West Coast Eagles, I can't thank them enough. They're a second family.
And we're flying again. Details of warm holidays and cheap flights. That's next.
Hello, Matt. Are you ready for Monday, 7:30?
I've lived in Broken Hill my whole life. Bloody flies.
You got to sort of make your own fun a bit out here. Really got that community spirit.
I am Big Brother, and I've chosen you. Welcome to my brand new house.
I hope I'm a pretty likeable guy.
Let's hope you're ready for what I've got planned.
What are you playing at?
I am Big Brother, and I'll see you Monday, 7:30.
Get more from your same race multi with Ladbrokes. For the first time, Ladbrokes Same Race Multi allows you to combine picks from the same thoroughbred harness or greyhound race to get even greater odds. Ladbrokes. Back yourself.
Even at the best of times, finding a good job can be hard. And the same goes for finding and keeping good employees. That's why JobKeeper is here, to help Australian businesses keep their current staff and to help employees keep their current jobs, which goes a long way to keeping your business going, even if you're self-employed. So that when you're ready to start up again or get back to work, we can all get back to business sooner. To find out more, visit jobkeeper.gov.au, authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
At John Hughes, we have a huge selection of vehicles, including VW, Mitsubishi, Jeep, Kia, Ford, MG, LDV and Hyundai, and more than 2,000 pre-owned vehicles, all in one location. John Hughes in Victoria Park.
It's tax time madness at JB Hi-Fi with 15% off HP Asus and Lenovo computers. This Hisense 58-inch TV a crazy $795 and $400 off the latest Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Buy in-store, online, click and collect or get it delivered. JB, you've done it again.
Hi mate, what have you been up to?
Not much. I miss you guys and I miss you cooking.
I don't miss a thing. I got the new Woolies Rewards app.
Get everything in one place. Track your points and personalised offers to save even more.
That's why I pick Woolies.
At Harvey Norman, get up to $700 of bonus gift cards on Intel laptops. Get a $100 bonus gift card with this Lenovo IdeaPad laptop, now only $999. A bonus $200 gift card with this Asus VivoBook Flip laptop for $1,499. Or a bonus $700 gift card with this Acer Swift 5 laptop, featuring the latest 10th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Up to $700 of bonus gift cards on Intel laptops. Ends Monday at Harvey Norman.
It's tax time madness at JB Hi-Fi with 15% off HP Asus and Lenovo computers. This Hisense 58-inch TV a crazy $795 and $400 off the latest Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Buy in-store, online, click and collect or get it delivered. JB, you've done it again.
Introducing Switch from Ladbrokes. Switch gives you the power to pick your promotion, giving you more of what you want. Make the switch at Ladbrokes today. Ladbrokes, back yourself.
Police are trying to get to the bottom of a mystery four-wheel drive rollover that happened in Carrinup this morning. The car smashed into an NBN hub at the corner of Deanmore Road and Jeans Road, leaving most of the suburb without any internet.
We were in the front room there upstairs, so it was quite a scary noise at the time.
When emergency crews arrived, the engine was still running, but the driver was nowhere to be found.
Homes have been swept out to sea after mudslides in Norway caused a huge slab of land to break away from the coast. They didn't stand a chance against the force of nature.
The moment the earth moves. A huge chunk of land tearing away and sliding into the water, sealing the fate of the homes on top. One by one they're swamped, then crushed, as the ground breaks up completely. It's not long before this is all that's left to see, just a few roofs. 8 homes in Alta were swept away, ending up in the local fjord, caused by a mudslide stretching more than half a kilometre wide and 150 metres high. An emergency operation swung into action, but police couldn't access the area by land because it was so unstable. One person was evacuated from their home. Incredibly, no one was injured. These houses are usually occupied by holidaymakers and would likely have been filled during a public holiday earlier in the week. But there was a rescue. This dog stranded, then saved, winched away from harm, taken to more solid ground. Of concern now, the risk of more landslides. And for those houses that escaped this breakaway, their future is precarious. Nina Stevens, 7 News.
The malaria drug spruiked by Donald Trump to prevent COVID-19 is no better than a placebo, according to a large study of health workers. Research published in the New England Journal of Medicine found hydroxychloroquine didn't prevent people from developing coronavirus. But the World Health Organization has recommended trials continue into how the drug affects people who already have it.
A Tesla driving on Autopilot has crashed into an overturned truck in the middle of a freeway. The driver says by the time he realised the car wasn't slowing down by itself, it was already too late. Incredibly, no one was injured.
Black Lives Matter protests across Europe have ended in violence, with firebombs hurled at the US Embassy in Greece. In London, police at Downing Street fought off demonstrators as huge crowds took to the streets.
A protest against racism in America becomes anarchy in Athens. Outside the US Embassy, Molotov cocktails and tear gas fly, the death of one man igniting global frustrations. Unlike American authorities, British police were taking a low-key approach until a protester broke the barrier outside Downing Street. Brawling on Boris Johnson's doorstep while he was inside holding a press conference.
Racism, racist violence has no place in our society.
But it exists.
This suffering been going on for far too long. It's not just one case. This is a chapter in a book, and the book for me is called Injustice.
The movement to end it is huge. Tens of thousands gathered in Hyde Park, marching through central London, social distancing eclipsed by the urge to unite. They were passionate but peaceful until tensions rose at Westminster.
About an hour before this protest began today, UK police leaders issued a joint statement saying they stand alongside those who are appalled and horrified by the death of George Floyd. But more than 10 hours later, it's not what people here on the streets believe.
They'll be back on the weekend, hoping their message sinks in. In London, Sarah Greenolch, 7 News.
Still to come, heartbreak for school students in Perth's south.
See how vandals destroyed their classrooms.
Plus, an urgent order for Kwinana Freeway following this truck crash fail.
Exclusive, an ex-detective in hot pursuit of tool thieves. See their dramatic arrest.
Plus, watch the dangerous detour that could have ended in tragedy.
And how scammers are tricking elderly shoppers in a cruel new con. That's next.
Footy's firing up again, and the game is back in the West. Reboot, recharge, refocus, with your ultimate guide to the season like no other. The Game 2020 AFL Season Guide, only in the West on Saturday. The West Australian, WA Footy lives here.
The Footy is back, and it starts with a Thursday night blockbuster.
You can't ask for more than that.
These two teams, everyone here knows the history.
Goes to another level. It's hard to get your head around it.
Both teams absolutely desperate.
Is this his big moment?
Oh boy, here comes the pressure.
That's unbelievable.
Collingwood and Richmond headline the season return.
Magnificent.
Next Thursday, go to the Footy, live and free on 7 Mate.
ECU's teaching quality has consistently been rated amongst the best in the country. Their academics are the bridge between your world and the whole world.
Get AHM hospital cover from only $15.75 a week. Yay. It's that easy, so you can get back to doing whatever it is you like to do. Even that. Find out more and join AHM Direct today. AHM, the simple bit.
Create more space and save on outdoor blinds at the Blinds Gallery. Bring your outside in and save up to 50% on Zip Track blinds and awnings, plus all shutters heavily reduced.
Call 137 127 the Blinds Gallery.
At Cannon, we believe mealtimes bring families together. That inspired our range of fresh, delicious, healthy, quick and easy to...
Drive away. Great Wall. It's built to...
Introducing new Gillette Skin Guard.
Overnight, staff arrived to find 11 smashed windows, computers and a projector destroyed, and iPads missing. The school said it won't be able to replace what was taken, as it had recently been donated.
Paul Dowsley.
The driver wasn't
swearing at Horns. Dangerous.
Cruel scammers posing as spiritual healers are accused of fleecing tens of thousands of dollars from vulnerable women. Police say they convinced their victims to hand over cash and jewellery so it can be cleansed.
Like that to obtain their valuables.
Another woman was scammed at St Kilda and police. Louisa Cheatley, 7 News.
Sport in 10 minutes, why it's been such a big night for our king of commentary.
I don't think there's any other game like it. I think it's the best game in the world.
The front bar is back.
If you are looking for earnest discussion or a level of sensitivity about the coronavirus, this show may not be for you.
Get out of it, you pink maggot!
Oh, the pub's closed down.
Judging by that performance, NIDA was closed as well.
The front bar is back tonight on 7.
Darkness and daylight, pleasure like a smile.
Experience the delicious intensity of Lindt Excellence. The finest dark chocolate crafted to perfection by the Lindt Master Chocolatier. Excellence from Lindt.
Why Tyre Power? It's more than just the power of lower prices.
Because right now, get the power to buy now and pay later with Zip Pay at Tyre Power.
Why would you buy your tyres anywhere else? Get the power.
Tyre Power. Get the power of Australia's biggest independent.
We work around the clock on our WA farms, so you can shop 24 hours a day at our stores. knowing you're getting fresh, safe, affordable produce growing right here in WA. We grow it, we sell it, you save.
At Terry White Chemmart, we're here to help this winter. It's why pharmacists like Bridget are trained to administer flu vaccinations right here in store. Book your flu vaccination now. Terry White Chemmart. Now that's real chemistry.
The Land Rover main event, with offers as spectacular as our vehicles. Like savings that leave the GST behind and a 5-year warranty. All yours on Land Rover Discovery Sport. On now.
It's a new chapter in breast cancer treatment. Clinical trials, support services and more, now all under one roof. From global leaders, Breast Cancer Research Centre WA. Donate today to make a difference.
Wish you had internet that didn't let you down? That doesn't leave you hanging and won't have you missing any of the action? Get Vodafone NBN with 4G backup. Plans start from just $55 a month. And with free express delivery, connect instantly once you receive it. Buy online today at vodafone.com.au. Ready?
Why tyre power? It's more than just the power of lower prices.
Because right now, get the power to buy now and pay later with Zip Pay at Tyre Power.
Why would you buy your tyres anywhere else? Get the power.
Tyre Power. Get the power of Australia's biggest independent.
Now Fuel Watch, Perth's petrol prices. Brought to you by Fuel Watch and 7 News.
That opportunity with a new TV, a bar fridge, and
be no go overseas easily.
Weather next and another
shine and a top of 25.5 degrees in the city.
To me.
Final Sunday at 7.
With RAC, we've got everything under the one roof to look after you and your car, like getting a loan for a new or used car, then keeping it on the road. If you need new tyres or a new battery, we'll be there. We're also here for car insurance, and we'll come to your rescue. Doing more for you and your car, plus giving you great everyday savings? That's the power of membership. RAC, for the better.
This is a bank ad. So we'll show you how much you need us.
And that we're with you every step of the way.
Like one big happy family. Now it's time for the big, banky musical climax. Haven't we had enough of all this BS? And by BS, I mean bank stuff.
So at Bank West, it's bank less from now on. Less jargon, less about us, less bank stuff.
Hello Fresh. Delicious meals delivered to your door with pre-portioned fresh ingredients. Now you can focus on what's really important. Order your box today. Hello Fresh. Inspiration delivered.
The Snooze End of Financial Year sale is now on. Save up to 50% off mattresses, including Sealy, Tempur and Madison. And for this week only, get an extra 10% off all mattresses. Hurry, sale on now.
Amazing what a little snooze can do.
The Amazon mid-year sale is live now. Time to get great deals on electronics, fashion, homewares and more. Shop amazon.com.au. Easy as.
Can't wait to get back to the footy. Oh, so good. Oh, there's been a spill. He picks up the crumbs, goes left, goes right. He's got it back in the bathroom.
Hot food, just $3 at 7-Eleven.
A few days ago, James had neck pain. Then he discovered Voltaren ML Gel. It relieves pain 2 times faster and reduces inflammation. Voltaren, the joy of movement.
Did you know Retrovision offers RAC members access to exclusive deals, including an extra 5% off every day? That's on top of our lowest price guarantee and 60-day price promise. For more RAC member benefits, visit retrovision.com.au.
There you go, Swagger.
Steve? Domino's is bringing New York to your living room with the new tastier New Yorker range. Now with even more authentic ingredients, like huge pepperoni on a giant-sized New York pizza. Try one from just $19.95 delivered from Domino's.
19 years, 6 months was the day that I found out that I was a dad. This is for you, my son.
Home and Away, weeknights on 7.
And Sam is back now with your forecast.
Thank you, Sue. We got to 25.5 degrees today. Now, that is the first time since 1984 that we've had 2 consecutive days above 25 degrees in June, and even warmer for parts of the metro area. 26 for Floyd and Morley this afternoon, a cooler 23 in Kalamunda, 25 for Cottesloe and Fremantle, and 23 in Rockingham. Right now it's 18.8 degrees and the winds are light. We have a high pressure system moving south of the state while strengthening, giving us our clear run, but a weak low and trough could give us some showers over the weekend. On the east coast, 23 degrees in Brisbane tomorrow, partly cloudy with a top of 15 for Adelaide, and sunny but cold in Canberra tomorrow. Around WA, still no rain in sight, 28 and sunny in Marble Bar for tomorrow, a top of 20 degrees for Margaret River, and Kalgoorlie could get up to 24. On local waters, light easterly winds becoming variable in the early afternoon, seas to 1 metre and the swell peaking at 2.5 metres. So almost a carbon copy tomorrow, partly cloudy and 25 degrees across our metro area. And if we hit 25 in the city again tomorrow, it will be a record. The first time we've had 3 days in a row of 25 degrees or above in June. And looking ahead to the weekend, once again, 25 degrees expected on Saturday. There is a slight chance of an evening shower just in the western suburbs, and a possible morning shower on Sunday, 23, then sunny and 22 on Monday. And we're getting up to 24 degrees for Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we have a high chance of showers for next Thursday. We have a very special birthday tonight. This is Helen Gurney of Huntingdale. Mrs. Gurney turned 104 years old today. Happy birthday. And congratulations to Nola and Ron McKay from Indari Keys. They've been married for 60 years. And Colin and Gloria Beals from Glen Forest are also celebrating their diamond anniversary tonight. Congratulations. And now for tonight's winning lotto numbers for draw 1255. They are 20, 12, 27, 1, 5, 10, 17, and the Powerball is 13. Those numbers again, 20, 12, 27, 1, 5, 10, 17, and that Powerball is 13. Rick and Sue.
Thanks, Sam. That's 7 News for this Thursday night. We'll be back with updates throughout the evening.
Angela Cox has the latest at 9:45. Enjoy the rest of your night here on 7.